I'm joined by our wonderful trackers, 3 streamers, and my co-commentator, one Mr. Willard J. Bradley. How are you today?
Hello! I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing very good. Very much looking forward to this, and it looks like we're already off.
All right, so you want to take the top, I'll take the bottom? How are we doing?
Sounds good.
All right, I'll take the bottom.
Christos Z4T0X heading to the uncle. I was going to say, before we get started, if anyone want to have a bet how many people go to the uncle, but it looks like everyone is.
We got all 4 players going the same route. We did get a map check from at least one of each. I saw some pendants and some crystals, so good luck.
Yeah, well, so just bombs the uncle.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting bombs for both players in the secret passageway. So that's a nice find. And, what do you guys got going on in your... Oh, and a heart container for you guys. So I think you guys got the better secret passageway. We just got bombs and an arrow capacity upgrade.
Yeah, arrow upgrade can be nice, but it's nothing like you want to see in the early game. Or the heart container is definitely good. Key in the sanctuary.
You know, it'd be so convenient if all 4 players just took the exact same route throughout the entire game, and it was just a game based on execution from here on out.
Yeah, it's almost looking that way, unfortunately. JSR kind of being a cool kid, forging his own path.
Gotta be different.
But the other 3 heading towards, standard sanctuary kind of route. It's a very exciting race. ChristosOwen, known for having very good execution, being an NMG runner. His PB for a long time being like a 127 and then a 126. So if you're looking to see little movement things like pumping and whatnot, definitely check out Christos. But otherwise, they are all very strong, competent players. Just a bottle to Lumberjack. There's
a reason why all 4 of these players are in the top 16. But
absolutely.
We'll soon be finding out who's going to be worthy of the top 8. This is the first race between Christos and Z4T0X, but this is actually game 2 for Prier and JSR2Gamers. They had a race last night where JSR2 took the first match, and we got a sword in the Lost Woods for Prier. First sword.
Yeah, sword will be very good, and that's very true. Just money for Christos and Z4T0X, but Christos opting to take it. Always good to get that extra money, even if it seems a little out of the way to go for that 20. So
it's gonna be a bit of a hodgepodge trying to keep track of everything that's going on in Kakariko, but we'll try our best. JSR2 are gonna be the first one there. We're gonna find out what we got going on up in here. He took the south route to get to Kakariko just to confirm that he'd get some more bombs, probably from the Sacred Grove.
Yeah, some hype for a chicken clip from JSR there. A couple of different versions, going for the classic.
Dude, chicken clip, that was huge back in the first tournament. Everyone did it, every race. And then people would get that lovely, like, invisible chicken in soft block.
Yeah, but already in Kakariko for the top, we are finding the hammer, the power glove. So we're just looking for that moon pearl, and then we have Dark World.
Wait, you guys got hammer and glove?
We got hammer and glove.
Because we got glove and boots going on down here, so we going fast all of a sudden. I don't know, I think our guys are going to take it. Go team bottom. No, I don't like that. Team blue and yellow. There we go. That's a lot better. Chat, don't be weird.
Yeah. Chat, if you're a bottom, then
don't say it. Don't even finish that statement.
Okay. So going into the well, we'll see what red Mr. Z4T0X goes for, and Christos shortly behind him.
Well, it looks like you guys got silver arrows in the back of Blind's hut, so that's exciting. Get those out of the way. That just means that you guys are never going to find a sword, though. Oh, we also got silvers. Aha!
Uh-huh.
Suck it, nerd.
Yeah, sorry, chat. It's going to get a little wild. We're going to have fun with it. Yeah, so already, boots and sword, very strong combination to have.
I wonder if JSR is going to be taking that route up north to check the Lost Woods since he came from the south. Only 20 bucks from the bottle vendor. Christos
opting not to chicken clip. Yeah, things are moving very quickly. Each of our runners just looking for a few things, but they're already well on their way into the seed. Not too much else in Kakariko, but still, glove and hammer, really big. That's a weapon already. It's a lot of axes can get to escape and all those fun other areas. They have the key too, so they can go to the middle dark room if they choose to. For our top 2.
Well, it looks like JSR has skipped the Lost Woods. Hopefully he's gonna go there now. Like, he has to. He's got to get that sword. I mean, he doesn't know that there's a sword there, but he's gonna be like, oh, good. Glad I didn't skip this. Yeah, just to reiterate, for JSR and Prier, we have gloves, boots, silvers, and about to be a sword as well. And that's all we got going on so far. Let's see what the next progression item is gonna be.
Z4T0X gambling the race game, and it will pay off for him too here. I believe that was a bottle in the library, so if they find boots, that might be their stick-hid access or safety early on. But getting our pearl, that's huge. So we can already go to Dark World 6 minutes in on the top 2.
Wait, Pearl at Maze
has
Race?
a lot of items, so don't expect them to go just yet.
Did you say Pearl at Oh man, Pearl. Wow! Dark World already for you guys? Dang. I take it back. You guys are gonna win, no doubt. We did see a map check. I know that there is a crystal at... Well, for you guys, it's... For Z4T0X, it's crystals at Eastern and Tower of Hera, with a green pendant at Desert. For the bottom screen, it was crystals at Desert and Eastern, with a regular pendant at Tower of Hera.
Yeah, already in the Dark World from Z4T0X. Probably gonna check out Cave, but we got all these crystals, pendant at Turok and pendant at Swamp.
So this could be a mirrorless seed for you guys, right? And we could even see maybe a flipperless seed if they fake flipper into Ice Palace. So something worth thinking about.
Yeah, this is true.
All right, what do we got going on?
In the high cave, we have the bow. This is going quick, and the hook shot. Some money for your way, and the lantern. Wow, and screw attack. They eat their medallion.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Hashtag team top, right?
Jeez, that's a ridiculous hype cave. That's a lot better than our Light World hype cave, our mini Moldorm cave, which, as far as I could tell, had a whole lot of nothing. Whew. Hype cave is back.
Christos going to cape our Hyplia cave, the Moldorm cave here, but I don't know after that one. Can there even be anything in here? I'm pretty sure the traditional hype cave already sucked everything out for all the other ones.
Yeah, nothing going on for my players, so let's look at what you guys are doing. Christos about to go get
10 bomb. It's pretty good. Yeah, well, not too much.
Ah, blue balloon.
A little things, but nothing you want to see. It's okay though. It gives you time for your heart to settle down from that hype cave.
Well, it's interesting. When you have Dark World access, do you immediately go for it, or do you try and clear some Overworld stuff or some Light World stuff first? Because if you put off Light World stuff for too long, you could easily put it off forever, and then it ends up being like a required item in like Agnes Cave or something like that. It's a scary thought.
Well, yeah, and then going to the Dark World, like if you check the Light World, it usually helps set up the way for the Dark World, but Z4T0X already going to pod. He has the bow, he has the lantern, he has the hammer. And getting money from the cave, he has the money for it too. He's very well set up for this dungeon. Krista is now going to Hype Cave, getting his items.
Wow, a 5-heart Palace of Darkness. I mean, it's got to be the right choice, like the very next choice to make. There's like nothing else. Like it gave you the hammer, bow, and lamp all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good choice. It's right here. It's really quick, and you have everything. 5 hearts will be fine. It's not too bad. And there's lots of little heart refills in the dungeon too. And if they want, given the nature of pod, you can set up a death warp, so you'll get a bit of a refill. Meanwhile, on the bottom, they're going into escape. The boots will definitely make that very quick.
There's our screw attack. There's our ether medallion.
Yeah, the Franklin badge ether. It's definitely good to see. Two very different races, but almost very similar in some regard too. Z4T0X taking the death there, going back to the beginning of the dungeon. And Christos right behind him, entering pod.
You know, it'd be amazing to see your players pull off a swordless 5-heart, just hammering silvers on Helmasaur. Like, that'd be amazing. I'd love to see that.
It's actually not too far from the speedrun. I think in the speedrun you have about 7 hearts. So
yeah, but you have a master sword.
The key is just making sure you don't get hit until then. But yeah, it'll definitely be good. Silvers and the hammer. Helma should be okay, but it's getting to Helma that might be tricky.
Yeah, fortunately for my players now, we at least have blue tunic and a sword. But yeah, and Helmasaur does a pretty good amount of damage. You know, with only green tunic, at least like 2 hearts at max.
Yeah, it does. I think he does too. But chat is asking why there are 2 different seeds. Just part of the tournament rules. We want to have each race to have a different seed. So it's pretty much just how it goes, from my understanding. But we'll be okay. It'll be good.
We'll survive. We got a Master Sword in Zelda Stealth for Team Blue and Yellow. Take that. How's that no sword going up there? Getting pretty jealous, huh?
Definitely. I'm very jelly.
So you guys already in the Dark World, partying it up, having a blast. My guy's going to be probably spending the next 10 minutes just trying to figure out how to get into the Dark World. Checking like, it's going to be that last spot, of course, that has it. And that last spot is actually going to be doing Agate Tower, probably.
Yeah, you guys just found the hook shot, but I was going to joke and see you guys are going to find, in 10 minutes, find your lanterns so you can go get the pearl on the pyramid after Aghanim. Gonna have a fun time, but that's pretty hype for the bottom right there, getting hook shot in Szechuan's house.
Hook shot, half magic, both really good finds. Fortunately for JSR2Gamers, who's going to be going up to Death Mountain without those, he's not going to be able to make his route as efficient. But we all know that both of these options are going to be sequence breaks. So whatever they find here, whether it's progression or not, kind of give them information about what they were supposed to be doing in the seed.
Yep, it's very true. So about halfway through pod, I haven't found anything just yet. It's kind of to be expected because the game gave them so much, and then they can just go ahead and clear the crystal dungeon, but still waiting to be seen. Even just the crystal alone will give them 1 part of access to Pyramid Fairy.
Right.
And Z4T0X opting to farm rupees here. Very smart idea. They still haven't gone to Zora, and there's still some money locations in the Dark World, and so very good that he's cognizant of it. Finds a ball too. That is sick, kid.
Now, I always joke whenever I play Zelda, whenever I play Z3, I'm always like, go to Sahasrahla before going to Death Mountain, because Sahasrahla's hut always has something, and that would be true this time, because he does have that hook shot, so I wonder if, after getting this, JSR is going to go right back up to Death Mountain, check that east side.
Yeah, it'll be kind of unfortunate in terms of the routing. He might feel a little bit deterred from going, and it looks like he's opting to go into Eastern, but yeah. Just so many items in this one area, it makes it really tempting to go into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't really want to put off too long if you can help it.
I still think the Eastern play is always a good play early. It doesn't lose you that much time, and if you're already over here, you might as well hop in, check it out. You might get lucky, find the 3 items you need right off the bat.
Yeah, it's 3 items compared with the other 3, and it's, the way I see it, is part of the overworld. And in the beginning of the game, it really helps paint the way the seed will go. So for the most part, it can be a really good place to go, but you really do have to play in tune to the seed itself.
Alright, what do we got going on in Paradox Cave? So far, nothing. We got a Quake Medallion. We got a Moon Pearl. Alright. Alright,
So
I like it.
your lantern.
Now we need... now we need some mitts or a hammer.
No, I mean, a lantern will be good. No, mitts and the hammer would be very good too.
lantern it'd be pretty nice. Yeah, not gonna deny that.
Christos setting up for his death warp. Z4T0X meanwhile heading to Helmsar. Not too much in pod, but again, crystal. So it's definitely good to do. It just makes a lot of sense to go for it.
Kind of half expecting to find a lantern, or at least, yeah, like lantern or flute. Either like it has to be Eastern, or could be Zora, could be Agnes Cave. We got options.
Yeah, and although it's not very relevant, Team Bottom having the boots, they'll slowly catch up. So don't think that Team Top is too far ahead just yet.
Speaking of Team Top, let's see how Z4T0X handles this King Helmsar fight.
Yeah, this tour room. There actually is a way to do the tour room really quickly without a sword, but it's not necessarily a situation many people find themselves in, so it can be understandable if you haven't, some players might not have practiced it nearly as much as, say, something like Ganon or, whichever execution.
And it looks like Z4T0X is going to try and set up that water walk so he can conveniently check all the flipper list locations, and with that Moon Pearl in hand, make it even easier. So, but I'm more interested in this Helmsar King fight. 17 hits with the hammer, and then 1 silver to the jewels.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like the one hit almost to initiate the mask breaking, and then 6 and 6, and then 1 silver arrow. Very good fight.
Nice, good pattern from Helma too, walking straight at him.
Yeah, Helma can kind of troll like that. Christos doing his tour room and kind of a similar vein. On the bottom, we got fake flippering into the waterfall cave. Can only do that water walk if you have the pearl. So some races like to go for it, some don't really care too much since it goes out of sequence, but having the boots and being able to water walk, it goes really quickly to do these checks.
And so far, nothing really of value. Though Prier didn't go for the hobo check. That's still on the table, but, sometimes you don't want to sequence break too much. Or, it's a slow check as well.
Yeah, and you can route it in, kind of like when you go to Ice Palace, if you get to the point where you're still looking for something. Z4T0X going for 50-50 bomb drop, and now he's opting to go finish Eastern. Obviously makes sense. Has the bow, can finish it. Another crystal.
So something's got to give in this or not Kakariko, but at least in the seed for these players on the bottom, Team Blue and Yellow. JSR2 is just about to get their Moon Pearl and Quake Medallion, but where's the progress? Is it here?
Well, according to the tracker, he's got the mitts.
All right. Mitts? Where did you find mitts? Was there a glove in... Wait. There was a glove in Eastern. Oh, cool. Neat. I must have missed that.
This is definitely handy to get.
Well, there you go. Eastern Palace was the answer. Now I'm scared for Prier because he just found the cape, and if he goes to Agnes Cave and finds the lamp, he might go to Agatower.
Ooh, that's really scary. Yeah, that could really lead Prier off the wrong path. But JSR2 having the glove on the mountain, so you can actually go and check the Dark Pearl portion as well, has the hook shot and the boots, so you can check the hook shot cave, and he can get information on Turok, so this is really good for him.
Actually, I'm kind of expecting a flute. I don't know. Because if both gloves are available, but the Moon Pearl is not available without a lamp, this either has to be a lamp or flute. Or a heart piece. So what other options do we have then?
Well, thankfully for him, it wasn't a lantern, because you don't want to get led on that path if you don't need to.
Oh, King's Tomb. That's gotta be it. Lamp, flute.
Flute. There you go.
Okay.
It's really good.
Lamp somewhere in the Dark World, probably.
Yeah, what's interesting is already can check Meyer and a bunch of other areas too. So yeah, team top is looking pretty good, but team bottom is like I said, it's starting to catch up here.
So wait, did JSR not check the East Dark World stuff? Or East the Dark World Death Mountain stuff?
No, I'm pretty sure he left.
Interesting. You have the hook shot.
Yeah.
You have the Moon Pearl. You have the Mist.
I mean, you could still route it in a bit later, but it seems like it was close that maybe you could have gone for it, but... Either way, the duck is now loose. Car container in Eastern, so Z4T0X now heading into Armos. Well, I mean, on the way, but... So you can farm for money and get that 8-bomb drop. I'm so angry.
Oh, okay, there's where the other glove was. Good old Eastern Palace. Alright, well, JSR2 will be the first of these two players to head to the Dark World, get us a map check, hopefully, and we'll have some options. You could always do the Thieves' Town without a hammer, check parts of Skull Woods, and we got Pendant, Green Pendant, Swamp, Pendant Ice, and Crystal 6 at Pod. Interesting.
So both races actually having Pendant Swamp.
Gross. So these could both be mirrorless seeds. Or these could also both be flipperless seeds if they fake flipper and ice. Except, wasn't ice also? I don't even remember what I just said. I think ice was a pendant too.
Yeah, I think it was ice and pod.
No, pod was Crystal 6.
Oh, okay, my apologies.
Ice and swamp. So what was the other crystal then? Eastern or desert, one of the two. Anywho, moving on. What do we got in Skull Woods? Did you guys find anything in your Eastern Palace? We got a glove. What did you guys get?
Got a heart.
Ain't got no sword still. I'm a little jealous of that shovel. Or not shovel, that... Well, you could probably use it as a shovel. That plastic shield.
Yeah, so Z4T0X saving quick coming out of the sanctuary. Looks like he's gonna go check back of escape. Does have a lantern, does have a key, so he can go to the middle dark room, but unfortunately the way is blocked off from going through the front. So you can only go as far as the middle.
And I believe JSR2 actually found both items in Skull Woods without having to check the back half, getting a blue boomerang and a heart container.
Yeah, so he is opting to check the dark room, and it looks like Christos not going to go into the back of escape. And it looks like his thoughts might be more focused on the mountain. It makes sense. They have a lot of options. Can go into Dark World Kakariko, but you can get the mountain, you can get that save point, and can route all the mountain and go all the way up to Hera.
Alright, time to find out what JSR2Gamers missed when he skipped out on Dark World Death Mountain. This could be big. This could give Prier the advantage. Right now it's on JSR2, though he hasn't found anything of value in the Dark World yet.
Tunic is nice.
Be up to red. Nice.
Yep.
Red tunic before you guys get a sword. Haha.
Yeah, so Christos leading the old men, and looks like Z4T0X, having a finished escape, is now going to join him on the mountain. So a lot of checks up here. Definitely good to get out of the way. And again, Hera is a crystal, so it makes a lot of sense to go here. And Christos has to be careful. He's coming up to a health refill, but you don't want to get sniped on the way.
100 rupees out of the chess game, and Prier is about to find out what's going on in Hookshot Cave. We got 4 chests in here. There's a tempered sword. Oh, that's not something you want to miss out on. That's rough.
Well, that's not fair. You guys gotta share a little bit.
No. I hope we get a gold sword before you guys get your first sword.
Wow!
That'd be hilarious. Oh wow! I like that both seeds. The old man gave some goo, some old man goo. We got green, you guys got red. Very Christmassy.
Yeah, that old man. But wow. Finding the Cane of Samaria and Bombos in the Death Mountain Cave.
That's interesting, because there was, in that same Paradox Cave room, both seeds had a medallion in the same chest. Quake for one, Bombos for the other. Interesting. Also, Prier now picking up their flute and suddenly back on sequence. Doesn't look like JSR2Gamers has found anything of value really in Thieves Town, unless I'm blind, but we'll see.
Well, if you are blind, you're about to have a really bad time.
It's pretty good. I'm gonna die. Where?
Blind's first name, not Joshua. It's confirmed Willard.
All right, I gotta ask, who made this seed, and why is it normal beeping speed for Christos? Somebody about to get fired.
Yeah, somebody set up us the bomb.
We got a Meyer check for Prier. We know it's a crystal. We have 2 medallions. We don't have the cane, but I'll have to see what it is on the official restream, since that was a blurry mess. And we got a shovel in Thieves Town for JSR2Gamers. Fetch quest hype. Was that? Oh man, double bombs in the Meyer shed. Lovely.
It's a hype shed.
Hype shed.
Yeah, everything is hype.
And Meyer is
providing us some relief by grabbing the bomb pot, which always has a heart in it.
I still couldn't tell. I think it was Bombos.
It's kind of interesting here. So Christos is staying up for the bomb jump, but he has the hook shot. So what you can do is you can actually hook shot to the chest, get the chest, and then bomb jump back across. And if you do fall, you actually only fall 1 floor, as opposed to the potential 2. But he's probably more comfortable doing a classic bomb jump, so instead just opts to go for the normal one.
Is that backwards bomb jump pretty consistent?
It works. Like, what you can do is you can plant a bomb in the top left corner while you're kind of running around the chest, and then you can pause buffer and get your positioning. And
okay,
if you do
so
fail
like,
it, you just fall down to the 1 floor.
Is it like a sideways bomb jump? It's not a straight back bomb jump like you would normally bomb jump up?
Well, you can literally just be holding the bomb. Like, you don't need to place it. You can just pick it up and walk with it, and then just make sure you're close enough to damage.
Interesting. Alright, we got... I'm about to die over on JSR2Gamers screen. Let's see what happens. Red tunic, master sword, easy peasy.
Press J to pay respects.
That's my middle name. Willard, pay respects, Bradley. Like Christos is going to be going for that basement check. I'm assuming looking for a second item in there.
Yeah, I already know to refill his tea. You never know, but I'm going to assume top 16. He's gonna be looking for that second item.
There's just something comical about just standing in there getting hit by tiles over and over again.
Yeah, something I do kind of want to mention is on the bomb screen, they have the boots, so they went to Thieves Town. Boots really help in Thieves Town. It's one of the dungeons where you actually do save more time than you might in others without having the boots. So on the top screen, Team Top opting to go to the mountain and finding some worth here. These dungeons are much more condensed, so the benefit that you get from boots isn't necessarily as large. It can be hard to say depending on what you do, but wow, there's a... I believe that was a fire rod?
A rod!
A rod!
A rod!
Team Bomb getting the rod. It's good for them.
Ooh! Now that's a good find for Christos and soon Z4T0X. That's a flute. We got a flute.
There we go. It's one half of the bootless fluteless combination.
Now, I didn't get a chance to count how many items we did find in Thieves Town. I do remember seeing the shovel and at least maybe 2 other items, so there might be one in the big chest. Not 100% sure. Not sure when we'll find out.
Yeah, Z4T0X attempting to clip into the door, but doesn't have the boots, and it's not possible. So unfortunately, just has to sit there and wait for it to finish.
Let's see how hype our hype cave is. We got... I don't need...
Hey.
We got a hammer. Okay, whew, saved it.
That's pretty good.
Ooh. I was about to say, rupee, heart piece.
Yeah,
That's
and
so good.
Unfortunately, we stole your butter sword on the top screen here because we now have a sword.
Aww, where was it?
It was in the Spectacle Rock Cave.
Oh wow, that's fine. And with that, JSR2Gamers is gonna be taking that hammer that he just got from Hype Cave.
Check out the sink on the top screen.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Then Z4T0X had to ruin it with diagonal movement, removing 1 pixel in each direction instead of the 1.5. But these resinks still good. And then he goes south.
Gotta check that sick
kid first.
Alright, well, I gotta give advantage to JSR right now. Having that hammer. Prier's gonna get that hammer soon, but with that small frog boy following him, he's probably gonna go back and turn that in. It looks like JSR2 is... Oh, well, he's in the Dark World. I was wondering if he was gonna go straight up into Hera. It is pendant, but, you know, it is V27. You know what they say about pendant dungeons? They suck.
Yep, they can definitely be a little bit hit or miss. Especially if you have a pendant swamp and pendant ice and you need to choose one of them. But yeah, top screen, we got the sink has been fixed. They are both going into Dark World here. They have the hammer, so they can finish these down. Another crystal, so things are going very smooth. But I wouldn't be surprised if it decided to dip into Skullwoods a little bit either. Don't have the fire rod, but it can be a quick little check to do the front part.
All right, guys, get your votes in now. Which team do you think is going to finish first? We talking about team top or team bottom? Because I don't know. We got swords, we got mitts, we got boots. Y'all got nothing. You got 1 sword. Get out of here.
Yeah, but it's okay because your bow is going to be in Torok or something.
That's fine. Turtle Rock is a crystal.
It'll be in Mimic Cave, and you need to find the mirror. And
that's fine. I'm okay with it.
Okay then.
No, you can't cheer for team left side. Well, I guess you could cheer for team left side or team right side. It's a different way of cheering, but it works. I ain't gonna stop you. Well, it looks like on Prier's side, we're gonna find out what is potentially in that big chest that JSR2Gamers missed. Z4T0X pulling out a mushroom out of that bombable hut. Y'all like fetch quests?
Finish. He's gonna go check the town. Christos and Thieves Town. A little bit of sinkage if you're actually rooting for team left, but we're gonna make quick work with the boots here.
So yeah, for those just tuning in, yes, we are playing on 2 separate seeds. The players on top are playing the same seed against one another, and the players on the bottom are playing a different seed, but the same seed, just different from the top, and are racing each other. And the reason behind that is we felt that in top 16 going forward in this tournament that each race should have its own seed. If you don't like it, well, pay your respects.
Yeah, press J to pay respects, but shuttle game for Z4T0X, so not opting to go into Thieves Town, does a very efficient dig pattern, and just kind of going through his tour.
It looks like you guys had a little bit more valuable of a Thieves Town so far. Apparently finding 1 of 2 rods. I need confirmation on which. It's labeled as ice. You want to trade? Because you guys don't need that ice rod if you're going. You don't if T-Rock is a pendant, but we kind of need it. Can you send it this way, Lily?
No.
Fine.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Z4T0X is opting not to go into Thieves Town, instead clearing some of these other locations and getting information on the island. I'm going to check Hobo here.
Z4T0X apparently finding the flippers somewhere. Oh!
And Christos finding a mass sword.
So right now, Christos with 2 swords, Z4T0X with no sword but flippers. And Prier on their way to go check that big chest, and we'll find out what JSR2 ended up missing, while JSR2 is setting up the water walk from Ice Rock Cave.
No, it's a very good water walk, having with the boots. It makes this entire sequence very quick and very fun to do.
Well, it's worth noting that despite the fact that Z4T0X doesn't have a sword, Thieves Town is still completable because you can use the Cane of Samaria to defeat Blind. Or Hammer. Both are good options.
Yeah, I'd say the Cane is actually better because its active frames are constantly out, so when the vulnerability is gone from Will or J Blind, you can just kind of leave the block there and hit it and activate it. It's a very convenient weapon. Doesn't use very much magic, and you don't have to worry about your own positioning. You can stay out of the way very easily. Z4T0X, of course, putting his flippers to good use, checking the waterfall cave and all these little areas. The added bonus for him is if he does find the boots, he'll make thieves quicker and other things. So he's probably just thinking that there won't be too much in thieves, and he's hoping to be a little proactive in searching the overworld.
And based on our Thieves Town from Prier, I get the feeling that there was nothing in that big chest since he didn't check it. So we found all 4, so JSR2Gamers is safe for now.
Yeah. Something to note for people, swimming in the water is actually faster than walking. So if you are in Zora's domain and you have the flippers, it is quicker to swim than walking, and that applies to other areas as well. When you move, you go at about 1.5 pixels per frame. When you're hookshotting, you're going at 2 pixels per frame. So hookshotting actually doesn't save you that much time in terms of distance. It does a little bit, but maybe not as much as people think. And when you're dashing with boots, you actually go 4 pixels per frame. The exceptions would be if you're going through grass or water, in which case that changes. I believe boots go down to 3 pixels.
We got data.
Just getting his mushroom.
We got numbers. We got anything. Just ask. Dory will have it for you.
Well, I try. I've been very fortunate. I just love learning, so I'm kind of, like to share the little things that I've learned. I definitely don't know everything.
And we appreciate it.
Flippers in the sea house for Christos here. So has his mushroom, has his flippers. I'll be curious to see how he routes in the mushroom and flippers. Doesn't have a mirror, so it makes it a little bit more difficult, but it's like he's gonna dip into skullets. Meanwhile, Z4T0X making his way back to Thieves Town. Got to go on a little bit of an adventure, but now he's gonna get his crystal.
And just to catch up a little bit on a few items that personally I may have missed, we got JSR2Gamers with the Bombos medallion, which was apparently found at Zora himself. And Prier did pick up that shovel from Thieves Town. We'll see when, and he did just check that spot there, and it was a lovely heart container. But
Christos, unfortunately, trying to go through the one door there, but needs the key. So going to this room, which always has a key.
Oh man, that's also something worth pointing out. The red cane over on Prier's side from the Peg Caves. While JSR2 finishes off Mothula in getting their second crystal. We got two crystals.
Yep. That's very nice. And it's halfway to ours.
I mean, I'm kind of looking at Christos as, you know, sitting pretty at 4 right now. Pretty nice.
Oh, it's not too bad. So it looks like he's going to finish Skullwoods, and he'll have access to Pyramid Ferry.
And we're gonna get our first catfish check of the race, for either race from Prier. Let's see if catfish shows up today. Well, JSR2Gamers will be making their way down to Village of Outcast. Will they be heading to Peg Cave next? Or, well, you know, Blacksmith, Peg Cave, all that stuff? Seems to be the play.
That's certainly a possibility. Catfish is one of those really awkward locations to check. I would say it's my least favorite just because it can be difficult to route in depending on the situation. Thankfully they have boots, so Catfish will be that much quicker, but...
Damn, for us, we just got a lovely little shield from the Catfish, but I want to point out Zatox, 40 minutes in, getting their first sword in Beamstown.
I believe some people take offense to you calling it a lovely shield, but...
it's a lovely shield.
It's a lovely shield.
It's not a useful shield, but it's a lovely shield. Somebody worked really hard to make that. JSR picking up their red cane as well, which they, of course, will need for both Mire and Turtle Rock. So I get the feeling that for Team Bottom, it's going to come down to that Ice Rod location. Calling right now.
Christos is not in go mode. He is looking for the Titan Smiths, but he is very close. We still don't know what the medallion is for Mire, so when we get the Titan Smiths, or if we find the other medallion, that will tell us.
And Spike Cave holds a heart piece. How nice.
Doesn't even refill. Titan Smiths of Mothula, so we're almost in go mode.
Yeah, once you get the rest of that information that you need about the rest of the seed, because you never know, boots could still be required for that big key in G Tower.
Yeah, this. I'm sorry, but Team Top is looking pretty good right now.
Team Top is looking pretty good. I'm not even upset.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, because we still need, by the logic, we still need the lamp, an ice rod, the flippers, and a book or the mirror, because we got to do desert, and we need the bow. Yeah, it's over. Dream's dead. Team Bottom's out.
And Chris is getting a tempered sword. Stoops.
Wow. There's the swords. Wow, that's a really valuable Skull Woods. Fire Rod was in Thieves Town just to go up to Skull Woods and get both mitts and the sword. Another sword? Woo.
Yeah, this is going very well.
Where's Gold Sword for both players? Well. Or for both seeds?
So Chris is immediately going to go to Mire, see if he can do it. It's very good, because if he has the flippers, he has everything for Ice Palace, so he can effectively go mode it if he has the medallion, and it's too blurry on the restream. But he's going in, so he has it.
So,
almost.
And on our side, Prier will have to make that trip to Zora to get that Bombos medallion to get into Mire, but he's going to go for the gamble and hop into Turtle Rock. He can get pretty far, but he can't complete it without that Ice Rod.
Yeah, so make sure to contact the organizers of this race so that you can get your own copy of this seed, because 42 minutes in, Chris just entered go mode.
Oh, there's the Ice Rod! What? Ice Rod, first chest, and T-Rock. Oh my goodness. The madman. How do you even make a play like that?
I just don't even know anymore. Things are pretty ridiculous. So of course, Krista is going through my Zatox going to go in and get his mitts. Still only on the first sword, so he'll get master, I'm sure, checking the other item, but.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he'd probably want that before he gets into that Mothula fight, but without the mirror, that single chest in that second part of Skull Woods is not a very favorable location to go to.
No, especially not without the mirror. But Chris just went for it, and he got a sword. And paid off very well for him. He's probably thinking, you know what? It still might need a medallion, so check it here. Don't want to have to come back in case it's something. And then found out he did have the medallion, and he got a sword.
So far, nothing else going on in T-Rock, and we got a red rupee in Meyer, but nothing else to my knowledge. We did get an early big key, so Prier could skip that middle chest, but we were looking for a lot of items, so he's more than likely not going to do that.
Yep. And Z4T0X finishing Mothula with the hammer against his mitts. He's probably going, whoa. But this is really important. He really does need to go to that other location to get his sword. If only just to at least make sure that he's in sword go mode. But having a Master Sword versus Temper will also save a lot of time. So he does go back in. Very smart. Again, he's not sure if he needs another medallion, knows there's another item, has checked everything else, and you don't want to leave anything here. Just get the item, take the time, don't even need to worry.
So we got the second item out of Meyer. It was a heart piece, so nothing progression in here so far, but we did get a crystal. Or we will be getting a crystal, as for Prier, finding a heart container in the vanilla big key location.
Yep, that's good. Gonna get his crystal. We'll be halfway.
Now at this point, the only thing that could really harm Prier in this routing is if a mirror is available and Mimic Cave does hold some sort of progression item. Because the likelihood of going back to check Mimic Cave at a later time is not ideal, and will probably be put off until like the very last thing.
Yeah, so Z4T0X quickly following in his steps. Has his Master Sword. Christos has Temper, but going into Meyer, so just a little bit behind Christos, but that sword can play a bit of an advantage, especially going into Ganon. They do have silver arrows, but even still, that's little bits of time.
JSR just barely making it through that first dark room in Meyer. We got dark rooms on both sides. To be honest, the Turtle Rock one, I would pick that one over the Meyer one anyway, any day, because that Meyer one is just straight brutal. Yeah, and JSR2Gamers taking a death.
Speaking
no
of
fairies.
And you save and quit. That's not good for you. Sorry.
It's, he's got both the items, so the only time he just has to come back and get the crystal later. And maybe he'll have some safeties by then, or who knows, maybe we'll find the lamp.
Yeah, it'll still be a good chunk of time, but probably figures, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna die on this mountain. I'm gonna, take a little breather, go out and come back later. And just as well, there is desert for them to too.
Not seeing much else in Turtle Rock for Prier, but being able to full clear, and that ice rod location is just awful, because more than likely, especially since JSR2Gamers already did all the Dark World stuff, he's more than likely not going to head back in there anytime soon.
Yeah, and Christos putting those silvers to good use. Now going to save and quit out, and just needs to go to Ice Palace, and it'll be a very quick Ice Palace. Give the old man some love, and flute to 8.
No backdoor strats for the Trinex fight from Prier, but let's see how this fight goes nonetheless. It's pretty easy when you have Tempered and half magic and a red mail. You have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, no, the boss isn't a problem.
Wow. So Christos just has to go mode this dungeon and he's heading to G Tower already?
Yep.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What a video game.
It's okay, because the big key will be in tile room, right? Alright.
Or on the torch. Oh, we got a bow from Trinex. I am willing to eat those birds.
I told you.
That's
You're like,
insane.
ha ha ha, banter.
Oh, man.
Like, hey man, bows on bombas in that Turok.
That's rough for JSR2Gamers because I can't imagine when he's going to make that play, and he's going to be going into pod without that bow, taking the gamble. So this is looking really good for Prier. At this point, he needs access to Desert. He could fake Flipper into Ice Palace and take that out, but he needs to find that mirror or that book to get into Desert Palace.
Yeah, this is looking very good for Prier, and unfortunately, JSR2. Yeah. Still a lot of race left, but he definitely will want to get to Turok sooner than later.
Oh, and Prier will need to still make that trip to Zora to get the Bombos medallion. And yeah. That's one of those late world locations that you gotta be careful if you put it off for too long. But look at this, we'll have a high five, we'll have some syncage going on for Team Bottom. Both gonna be going into pod at the same time, but unfortunate for JSR2, not having the bow like Prier does, he's only gonna be able to full clear everything except for getting that crystal.
Yeah. And Ice Palace is a pretty fun dungeon to execute. Depending on your health and other things, you can make it go a lot quicker. Christos has a sword beam, so in that conveyor belt room, you can actually use a sword beam to hit the jelly with the key, and then you can bonk against the spike trap, and it'll actually line you up perfectly, so that you can just walk straight down the center or dash down the center. He spent a little bit of time in that lonely firebar room. He has the hook shot, so if you ever end up in a situation like that, what you can actually do is you can menu to the hook shot, and then you can actually hook shot the block next to the stairs, and then you can just go on the stairs like immediately.
Yeah, that was one of those things that I picked up from what I think I was watching AA play or something, or during one of his races, and I saw that and I was like, I'm taking that, and I use it quite a bit. It's very helpful when you don't have the boots. Yeah, over on JSR2Gamers, he did find that lamp in the back section of pod as well as a small shield. So he's thinking, oh man, now I can go back to Mire and finish it, now that I have that pesky lamp.
Yeah, and Chris is finishing Cold Stir very quickly. Again, has a temper, gets the cape. I mean, yeah, cape's nice. Makes fight slower, but definitely safer. But Chris is having temper, Z4T0X still only having master. So he will potentially lose some time on this fight.
And we got good news for Prier more so. There is a book in Palace of Darkness in the Dark Maze, which will allow him to get into Desert Palace.
Yeah, that's true. And real quick, Christos already heading into Ganon Tower. We have a game we like to play on Speed Gaming, and so people, for some reason, type their ages into the chat, but there are 22 locations. The big key can be in Ganon Tower. So if you have a guess, feel free to put your guess into the chat. And if you've donated or subbed to the channel, you can actually potentially get your name on a leaderboard for the guesses for fun.
And you guys are so lucky because we're doing 2 separate seeds. We'll get to do the game twice. That's twice the chances of getting on that leaderboard.
It's twice the chance to get sniped.
Baby.
Get your name. Yeah. I'm totally not bitter about guessing too slowly.
Gotta be quicker.
It's very true.
Gotta have your number already typed in. You're just waiting to hit enter.
So, Mr. Willard, what is your choice for Ruby?
Well, obviously, I want it to be on the torch. So whatever number that ends up being. Because you guys are way too far ahead. Like, Christos could... If it's like, oh my gosh, this could be a ridiculous time. This could be a new world record, a new randomizer world record.
It might be sub 110, but without the boots, it'll take a little while.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's definitely looking good. Chris is opting to go to the hookshot room, just to, I guess, hope for boots in case it is on the torch.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you're finding nothing, so he's gonna have to gamble. It's not in the torch. I'm gonna guess tower room.
Well, he did find at least a blue tunic, which will make his routing or his chances of staying alive a little bit better, a little bit higher.
Yeah, that's true.
JSR first one into Desert Palace.
Yeah, see, okay, Z4T0X right there did use the hook shot to go into the stairwell. So if anyone's never seen it, that's kind of what it looks like.
Finding the bug net. We got the bug net on the on our torch, our Desert Palace torch. All right, moment of truth for Christos. Does he have everything he needs to complete this seed?
Yeah, if it is on that torch, he's actually not in go mode. Typically, you want to go to Ganon Tower and assume that you're in go mode until proven otherwise, and then hope whichever item you need will be here. Finds the mirror.
Are we gonna? Oh man, I hope we get. I want a G Tower double dip, please, please.
Boots and Swamp the dream.
Please.
Boots and Swamp left side. It's
oh. No, I'm sad. Well, at least this will be a quick one. This is insane time, but I'm very sad right now.
So okay, Team Bomb will get their chance again.
Yeah.
Ooh, Z4T0X needs to be careful. 1 heart.
Yeah, you don't want to die here. Dying to Cold Stare is one of the worst locations to die in for dungeons.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as dying in like Dark World, Overworld, like in the Skullwoods area, but not inside the dungeon.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he's losing a lot of time in this fight too. I forget how many Master Sword slashes it is. It's like 16 or 20 or 24 or something for Cold Stare for each of the puff, but it takes Cold Stare down, and so now he will be making his way to the mountain as Christos goes through the tower here.
I think not only did he hit him with his sword, but I think like part of his hand was inside Cold Stare. Maybe all the way up to like his elbow. Like that was really close. I'm surprised he didn't get killed from that.
Yeah, and Christos finding half magic, so blue mail, half magic, tempered silver. I think you'd have to do something really special, like falling in the hole of your own volition to have trouble in this last fight here.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Z4T0X, that sword difference is gonna make a big. He's already behind right now, and including the sword difference, it's gonna be tough for him to turn this race around.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's really far behind. Even if Ganon Tower, in terms of routing, was an option, it just won't matter at this point. And even then, just having the sword upgrade will make Ganon as a fight really impactful. Finds both dungeon items, some money, and bigger money.
JSR getting another crystal, finishing off Desert Palace, while Prier making their way through to the Helmsar King to get another crystal as well. So for these guys, we're good. They can fake flip. They don't need the flippers. They can fake flipper to get to Ice Palace. Prier just needs to get Bombos, and JSR just needs to go to T-Rock like a madman.
So if anyone's like, well, why did Christos pull out a bomb? You can actually hold the bomb and walk through warps, but I guess it doesn't work on those tall warps. But so if ever, let's say you're in the overworld and you warp to the light world and you're like, oh man, my warp's in the way and I don't want to go here after all, you can actually just place and pick up a bomb and it won't count. Christos trying to bomb jump across because no boots, but it's a little too far from the gap. It's only a 1 tile gap, but it's the way it's shaped can be a little weird if you're not familiar.
Will he go for it again, or is he just gonna walk it out? It's like he's going for it again. Just wants that visual cue.
Wants the visual cue. Yeah, I definitely.
Oh god, the beetle.
No, but 1 tile it's very lenient. But if you're, not expecting it, you can maybe not know where you are. I believe that's chest 14.
This is just
starting to run out a little bit of health, but going into Armos.
It's just so interesting to see how different a randomizer seed can be. Like both these seeds are like complete opposites of each other in amount of time and required items, and just the displacement of crystals and pendants can change everything. There's the big key. Yeah,
there's the big key. So what was that? 16? I need to recount.
Finding a red potion and the cane of Burna along the way as well. Prier making their way to Tower of Hera, and JSR is gonna
I think that's
avenge
16.
himself in Mire and finish that one out.
So after some quick maths, if you get 16, you are the winner.
Yeah, you're pretty cool. I mean, buy a coffee maybe. Maybe. Got a big key in Tower of Heroes, so Prier will be able to... Now here's the thing, though. Like, if JSR goes to T-Rock sooner than later, it could be a while before Prier finds that Bombos medallion. And could be a difference of, you know, go moding certain dungeons.
Yeah, so Christos is making his way, about to enter the gauntlet here. It's got a lot going for him. Kind of has to be a little careful in his arrow count. And Z4T0X, not too far behind, going to go to Armos. If you do kind of have a feeling that the big key might be at Armos, it's actually quicker to do a full right side clear, but of course, a lot of people feel that left is better or safer to go through. But in terms of speed, the best thing for Z4T0X to do would have been going full right.
And not exactly what Prier was looking for, but he did just find the flippers in the big chest of Pendant Tower of Hera, mind you, to go into Ice Palace. But here's the exciting stuff. If he just goes into the where he could be in go mode, that's okay. We want a closer race. We don't want him to be in go mode yet, right? Right.
Guys, Flippy Floppy is gonna enter Ice Palace here.
Guys, don't worry. He might go check it after doing Ice Palace, but it looks like JSR is either gonna... Here's the thing, it all comes down to what JSR2Gamers does next. If he goes straight to T-Rock, he's in go mode, minus the flippers. But if he goes to Hera, he'll get the flippers, and then probably go to Ice Palace, so... Oh wait, Ice Palace is a pendant.
Yep.
Ice Palace is a pendant! Prier, please! I just realized. What are you doing? I didn't... So...
We got a race.
Okay, I was getting mixed up. So, they don't need the flippers at all for Team Bottom. My previous statement, I take it back. So, yeah, it's just... That Bombos medallion is the last thing. For Prier, at least.
Uh-oh, Z4T0X turning into... Well, he did run into a little trouble, but he actually saved time over Christos in that one previous room, but now kind of equalized that time in the spot room.
So it looks like Z4T0X is about a gauntlet behind.
Yeah, pretty much, but again, he also has Master Swords, so Christos has a strong advantage, unless one of these chests is a sword that he skipped. He has a very good lead here.
Barring some sort of catastrophe, it looks like Christos will be taking game 1 against Z4T0X, but...
Oh, that was really good timing.
Still got a little bit of time.
Probably used Intuition or Sound Cue, but you can usually look at Moldorm, and when Moldorm's sprite is no longer on screen, then you know to fire the hook shot. But obviously, if you kill him off screen, you don't have that option. This is very good timing. Z4T0X doing a death wart. So he is now going to be heading up.
JSR, what are you going to do? Don't do it.
Oh,
Don't say you can quit out.
The blue ball, unfortunately hitting Christos, so having a bad second cycle.
This is going to be close. This is going to be really close with the current open mode record of like what, 106?
Yeah, it should be a sub 110, but I don't remember the record. I thought it was 108, but it might be 106. But yeah, Christos mimicking Aghanim spinning. Finishes off the fight in 5 cycles, now going into Ganon. So tempered, 12 slashes on the first cycle, 12 on the second, phase rather, and then 4, and then however many it takes for the silver arrows.
Alright, I want a clean fight.
Yeah, he uses the recoil of the trident to get a double. The charge spin counts as 2, and then the other 2 is 4. So 4 in that one already gets in 1 cycle.
You can get another 1 cycle. Well, he's got to be careful.
He takes the hit. He should have a potion, but he needs to be careful.
But he did get 1 cycles for the first 2 phases, so this is looking good.
Yeah, the Ice Armos actually sets up Ganon's Firebat RNG, so it's a little bit to explain. I'd have to refresh on that, but Armos doing the fight will actually change the Ganon fight, so it's made it very consistent for him right here.
Yeah, not getting like any warps at all. Ooh.
Yeah, he has to be careful, but he's doing good. Oh, he shoots the wrong ways. Doesn't get the double.
Yeah. Is this gonna be the double?
Yeah, he goes.
Oh my gosh, I gotta look at what is the record? Because we're about to break it in a tournament match. It's the 106.24 by boots. How do you get a 106?
GG's to ChristosOwen. He finishes with an SRL time in first place of 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 57 seconds. And his response is, "What a seed, semicolon, capital S."
Alright, whoever generated that seed, no, none of that. That's like Triforce Hunt time, like I've never seen a sub 106. Well, no one has, at least in open mode. So
for me, it was actually, yeah, no, that's a very good time. I meant a colon, but semicolon, sure.
That's impressive. That's insane. The Madman! Congratulations to Christos, taking game 1 in that top 16 matchup. Now, enough about that. Let's talk about my race. We have JSR2Gamers finally in T-Rock, got their Ice Rod, gonna be getting their bow, and Prier is still going for the full clear on Ice Palace. So hopefully, upon completing this dungeon, he'll go into Zora's Domain, get his Bombos medallion, and then he'll be able to do Desert and Mire in one go.
Yeah, we still got an entire race on the bottom. We'll probably have Christos and then eventually Z4T0X in here for a quick interview. We don't want to detract from the race, but we might do a quick interview here. Just talk about the craziness of the seed. But yeah, in the meantime, definitely pay attention to the bottom race here.
Is there any way we could switch over to their audio? I don't know what they have set up, if they have mics on or anything, but. And isn't Christos and Z4T0X doing their second race as well? Like immediately after this?
Yeah, according to the schedule.
Prier.
Still have a lot of rando fun. That was his game one.
Oh, here we go. Prier's about to get bombos. He's gonna feel silly after doing all of Ice Palace. Prier, just a few steps away from hitting go mode. Go, mode.
Yeah, Z4T0X finishes his Moldorm too. Finds some blueberries in the final chest. And now going on to Aghanim. It's not too far behind. Really just kind of checking more of the overworld instead of going to Thieves, and then Christos just really, going boom, boom, boom from each location.
I gotta say,
the Prier gets his bombos. It's really good.
I'm curious, because he still has to do all of Mire and Desert, while all JSR has to do after finishing Trinex is finish Eastern and Pod. This might be a little bit closer, because Prier also has to go do Eastern. So it's still, oh man, we'll have to wait and see.
So we have ChristosOwen in the waiting room, so we'll pull him in real quick for just a real brief interview. But hello, Mr. ChristosOwen, and congratulations on your world record first place win. How are you feeling?
Yo, pretty good, thank you. What a seed that was. It's like playing V18.
Absolutely.
I didn't need to go outside a crystal dungeon. I just kept hitting crystals I could beat fully, and everything was just exactly where I needed it to be. That was insane.
Yeah, it was very insane, especially going to Kakariko, going to that hype cave, like...
Yeah, I think the only things I did which didn't give me something, I did South Shore, which didn't have anything useful. And I think that was literally the only move where I didn't get an item. Like, I went to pod first, because I know, one, that Z4T0X likes to do early pod. So I was thinking to myself, if he's going there, then I have to go there, just so that I'm on level ground. And I had everything to beat it, so it made sense. Then Eastern was beatable. Then Thieves Town, I think, was next. That was beatable. That gave me the Fire Rods. Skullwoods was beatable. It was just crazy. I just can't believe it.
It was a very exciting watch. We still have a very exciting watch going on here, but yeah, it's just there's a lot to say about the previous race, but it was very exciting and very well played. No boots and
yeah.
106.
I was pretty scared going into GT. I was like, if it's on Torch, I have no idea where I'm going to go first because I've got pretty much 50% of the game still unchecked. But I didn't have the mirror, so I was like, well, I have to go right first and check those 2 chests, even though I really want to see what's on the Torch. And I got mirror in those 2 chests, and I was like, oh my god. But I didn't think to use it to mirror out. Yeah, and with where GT Big Key is, wouldn't have really made too much of a difference if I'd gone left or right. Right would have been slightly quicker, but being bootless, I was like, nah, let's not bother doing Dark Magician route or anything. Let's just do full left side, and it worked out okay.
Yeah, for sure. JSR and Trinix here, but is there anything you like to say real quick before we turn our attention back to the bomb race here?
No, just looking forward to seeing the VOD of how this played out between me and Z4T0X. And yeah, I guess I'll take a quick break before the next game.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Congrats, Christos.
And,
thanks, guys.
Good luck on your next one, too.
Thank you. It'll be hard to beat that.
All right, back at it.
Yeah, Z4T0X doing a good job finishing with his SRL time of 1 hour 12 minutes. So GG to him.
So yeah, this is going to be an interesting race between Prier and JSR. Prier in go mode, same with JSR2. Both players still have to finish Eastern. Prier will do Mire, but will have to... He hasn't done Desert yet, so he'll have to save and quit out, go back to Desert, and then go to Eastern, so... While JSR will finish Eastern and then flute back to 5, flute back to 5, and then go finish off pod.
Yeah, a little bit of a mucky situation, but they're plugging through. JSR doing good on the Trinix fight, and obviously Prier just short of going to Vitreous here.
Yeah, when JSR2Gamers was in Mire, he did not have the bow, so he used the cape and boots dashing strats to take out the eyeballs, as well as do damage on the big eyeball. Prier, with silvers in hand and 64 arrows, will have no problem just using those.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm quite curious what, unless he went to Ice Palace by mistake, or he was, well, no, it's not. It was probably looking for bombos, and you know, we generally valued dungeons a lot more over overworld in this version, so it's probably just a choice, a gamble, and didn't work out. But yeah, it's gonna make this race a little bit closer. JSR just now heading into the Armos fight. I think JSR's in lead at this point. No doubt.
And it's funny because people say that the dungeons definitely have more worth. But every time I think that in a mini race, I'm like, oh man, I could save all that time. I had just gone to that one hammer peg or something, you know. But I think it really depends on the flow of the seed itself too.
Mm-hmm. It's also worth noting then that no pendant dungeons were required in this seed, because Tower of Hera, all that led to was the Clippers, and Ice Palace had, I have no idea, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know, I think there was like commentary going on, or there was an interview going on or something.
Yeah,
but
it's an interesting afternoon.
Yeah, unfortunately for JSR, all he has to do is, because Prier still has to go into desert and find the big key, which I believe might have been on the right side, not 100% sure. Might have been the first test.
But yeah, two very interesting seeds, just a very different narrative, but yeah, wow, just so much everything that's going on. But yeah, no, the pendant's not so much required.
Yeah, for this one, it still could come down to a G-Tower route divergence, but Prier's going to need to make up some time somewhere if he wants to still take this and set up a Game 3 scenario, because right now, JSR2Gamers is leading in the set 1-0. Oh yeah, and it's true, JSR2Gamers will have to go through this lengthy section of pod to get the big key, because it was over here. So that's giving Prier a little bit of time to catch up.
Yeah, that's something to definitely be aware of. Christos and Z4T0X did their first match, and they're actually about to do their second one today too, not too far from now. But for Prier and JSR, this is their second match. So it's a very important match here. And, there's no leeway from one or the other.
And if Prier can somehow manage to pull out a win, then guess what, guys? We'll get another quad race right after this.
Mm-hmm. Have a lot more fun. Yeah, hope you got your tea, got your coffee, maybe your wine, whichever drink you prefer, because a lot of fun today.
Yeah, I think the thing is, Prier did the Water Walk, Moon Pearl, all that fancy stuff in the Zora domain, but only had like roughly 250 rupees at the time. So putting off the Zora check, which, you know, it's a bit of a gamble, like skipping left side Swamp Palace or anything like that. It's not really a gamble, but you know, you don't want to have to go all the way back for just one item. And Prier, you have the book. Go to desert. Thank you. Jeez. Does he not realize?
I think he's a little bit stuck. Maybe he marked something on a tracker wrong, or... But he looked at the map, like... Open your menu.
What's going on? What is happening? That's not something you want to see ever.
Open your menu.
Alright, I'm checking his personal tracker. He doesn't have a book on his tracker.
Oh,
he doesn't know he has book. He doesn't know he has book. Oh no. No!
That can happen.
That's awful.
And has happened to everyone, I'm sure. This isn't. He needs to open up his menu. Like he already opened the map, and he knows something isn't right. He knows something isn't right. He needs to open the menu.
He had it open. He needs to look at it again. He does have the book. He got the book out of Palace of Darkness, but he does not have it labeled on his own personal tracker. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that you got to keep track of when you play this game, and it's really easy just to forget one thing or the other. This also explains why he's been checking a few extra stuff here, and might actually explain why he did more, and he did the Ice Palace play a little bit more. I mean, of course, then he was still looking for bombos, and I actually had forgotten that he still had to go back and do Skull Woods as well. Huh.
Yeah, this is a very interesting situation. He needs to. I mean, he's going to Skullwits, right? But every time he opens that menu, it's like.
I'm pretty sure he had the. He did. I think he had the lamp when he got the book. I don't know. I don't think he did the dark room in the dark. Because sometimes if you pick up an item in the dark room, it doesn't actually show up visually on screen. So it's easy to miss something like that. That's why sometimes when you'll see players playing and they're opening up chests in the dark room, they'll open up their item menu just to take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, JSR2Gamers is going to be making their way up to G Tower, and so it's that time again, guys. I know how much you had fun the first time, but we're doing it again. We got a big key somewhere. We got to find it. It's gonna be in G Tower. This isn't a key sanity. Calm down. What do you guys think it is?
For myself, well, I guess Tower room last time, but I think this time I'm gonna go with 15.
It's gonna be on the torch this time.
You're sticking to your guns, not deterred. Yeah, just an unfortunate thing for Prier here. It happens to the best of us, and clearly, because this is top 16.
Yeah, you got turning nerves getting in the way. Anything can happen. It's just an unfortunate way to go out. But let's see. Let's hope he makes that realization soon. He can at least be in G Tower before JSR2 finishes.
Yeah. So he checks the right side, finds no key, so no option to even go. Unfortunately, just a small key. Again, though, on the torch.
Man! Oh, Prier's looking at his map again.
Rip Bob.
Wait, pause again. Or did he just realize?
Oh.
Okay, he knows now.
Okay, that's good.
Alright, coming up on chest number 4, a butter sword.
Butter.
Chest number 5, heart piece. It's like JSR2Gamers is going to be going for the full left. We got a fire shield and a small key. So we've seen all 3 shields at this point. 1 at Catfish, 1 in Pod, and 1 right here in our very own G Tower. Chest number 8 coming up.
Just a heart for the chat. Yeah, so Prier on his way, but unfortunately just, a very large advantage for JSR here. Well, fortunate for him, of course, but...
Yeah, it's crazy to think, because Prier had that crazy gamble into T-Rock early, finding the Ice Rod and the bow in T-Rock. And then, I thought it was over at that point, but it's never over until the big pig is dead.
I thought you were gonna say he sings, but that's very literal. Yes, like
no, he only sings in Z1. That's Zelda 1 where he sings. You can hear him in each room, across the room. Oh, there it is. Chest number 11. 11? 11. 11?
Yeah, I think that's 11. Because it's 8.
I keep saying 11. It becomes more true over time.
Yeah, this is true. You learn very well from politicians. Just keep repeating it. Yeah, it looks like number 11. 11?
11? Oh, and we're going to see a big chest. Check the big chest. Check the big chest. Yes, it was a compass for the. So yeah, both seeds were mirrorless. So that's really cool. I mean, we did get a mirror, but we never used it.
Yes.
Or actually, no. Christos might have used it. Because it was in, like, the second chest, so... Oh, and I think maybe Z4T0X went for a full left, so he never got the mirror on the right side. that would explain why he had to death warp after he got the big key after Ice Armos.
Yeah. Yeah, Prier was, looking very strong, especially going into Turok. But yeah, it's you can never count anything out in rando. A person can seem so far ahead, and then just the way everything else plays out, it can definitely take a switch.
Can we get in the credits sequence number of mirror uses? Put it right next to bongs and flutes.
Yeah, and I think another good one would be a number of frames lost. Then all of a sudden people will be like, whoa, 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 what do you mean I lost 11,314 frames? No,
what are you talking about?
I think it might be a little tricky, though.
Alright, we got a little bit different of a gauntlet than our previous race, with boots, gold sword. It's gonna be a little bit quicker going through here, but I don't know. It's not gonna beat a 105.46.
Yeah, it did find half magic for both. So, Fire Rod, very strong tool and gauntlet. Instantly destroys the skeleton enemies. On some enemies, you don't want to use it because you have to wait until they finish burning. But on this, on the skeleton, it was kind of funny in that one room. JSR slashed the skeleton and then fired the Zazek.
Another thing I really wish that the credits had was number of deaths with fair use. That'd be nice too. See it? Maybe number of items checked. I don't know. Did the credits even have anything? I usually just speed right through it. I never read anything.
So some Japanese names.
I always read. I gotta slow down for those. I gotta make sure to write them down so I don't forget. JSR making their way through second Wizard room, giving them a little bit of trouble. It's one of those things where, like, if you never mess it up, the one time you do, you like mess it up big. Like, oh, what? How did I mess this up? And then all of a sudden, it's like a couple cycles. At least based on my experience.
That's fair. Yes, both again tower, but of course significant lead here to JSR. We've seen shenanigans happen before, but now we just kind of have to watch and see what he does. Obviously skipping all the chests, has butter, has silver, has the boots, has red mail, all his safeties, half magic.
I think he's pretty golden. I think he's pretty good for now.
And this is definitely looking very good. We might have some disgruntled chat members come the final chest of the tower.
Got a Moldorn 2 fight coming up. Gold sword. Oh. Dashing through him, but not actually getting the hit. But taking him down regardless. Easy game. Be better if there was like a Helmassar King there instead. I don't know about you, but... Boss Shuffle Tournament win.
Yeah, Boss Gauntlet speedruns win. I know there is a ROM that's a Boss Gauntlet, so that'd be pretty fun to do.
The one that... Didn't Scudge make that?
Yeah.
The Scudge, the legend himself.
The Super Scudge.
Speaking of legends, we got this Aga 2 fight, and JSR becoming a legend himself with that triple right there.
Simple geometry reflecting those projectiles. And that will be Aga 2 down.
Prior now getting there. Big Key gonna be heading up this way. Oh yeah, well, no mirror. So gonna be taking the same route JSR2Gamers made. I wonder if they'll also check that big chest along the way. I'm sure he's feeling a little bit behind with his bit of a hiccup and doing all of Ice Palace, so
Yeah.
Probably surprised to not see the dot done yet, but looks like it'll be coming up pretty shortly.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a heartbreak too, because they're like, oh man, had I not done this, like things might have gone better. But I was gonna ask, whenever you hear people talk about Aghanim cycles, do you ever get excited? Because you're like, oh, what, single, double, triple, like you think they're ordering coffee or something.
Like a double frappuccino. Is there such thing as a double frap? Double frappe? I
have no idea.
I usually just get straight coffee, so all those fancy terms don't really apply to me. But now if you talk about a McDouble, then we get... Kidding.
I've had some people kind of tease me and ask me to pretend I'm ordering from Starbucks, but I don't actually know how they work that much.
A double mocha latte with cheese. Anyway, we got a Ganon fight coming up. We got phase 4. We got 4 silver arrows. We got 3 silver arrows. We got 2 silver arrows.
Yeah, auctioning silver arrows here. Can we hear one silver arrow?
We got 3. Oh, wait, when you get it? He somehow snuck a double in there. I'm impressed. All right, that's gonna do it, guys. JSR2Gamers taking the set 2-0 over Prier, finishing roughly with a time of something 1:30:59. Congratulations. Let's see if he wants to come in here and talk about this wacky seed. Oh man, that also means that we're not going to get that. Speaking of wacky seeds, what was that? What was that text box? Vitor? Who do I yell at about that?
Yeah, somebody gonna go talking to. But it looks like JSR is indeed in the waiting room here, so we'll pull him in shortly.
Shortly as in like now?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, you got your short and tall venti, right? Short.
Welcome, JSR2Gamers. Congratulations on your victory. How you feeling right now?
Pretty good, man. I gotta admit it. That was a fun seat.
Did you like that T-Rock?
I was kind of nervous that maybe Prier had gone there earlier since I had access to it, and I thought about skipping Hera and going straight there, but since I was going to check Ether anyways, I was kind of thinking, I mean, it's quick. And then I realized I didn't have a mirror, so after I found the second item, I was like, I guess I gotta beat this now.
Yeah. Fair enough. Actually, you are correct. Prier was the first one to go into T-Rock, getting both the Ice Rod and the bow. Unfortunately, this race came down to a bit of a mistake on his part. We have reason to believe that he forgot that he got the book out of Pod, and so he ended up spending a lot of time looking at his menu, looking at his map, trying to figure out where to go to get into desert. He also missed. He did the whole like Zora stuff. With like the water walking and stuff, but he didn't have enough rupees to go to Zora, so his Bombos medallion came really, really late, and unfortunately also came after full clearing Ice Palace.
Oh man.
So
no.
That probably actually cost him more than the book mishap, but both those chained together put him a little far behind, so.
That's kind of the bummer about Rando sometimes, is that you can make one gamble or miss one thing, or I mean, we've all had it happen to us. It's happened to me many times, and it's unfortunate because Prier's a really good opponent, and you know, to be able to match up against somebody of his caliber in the tournament was really an honor.
Yeah, it was a fun race to watch. And it's unfortunate to make mistakes, and we see Prier pulling out his book and using it on the final chest in G Tower, and then grabbing the item, just as a reminder. But yeah, it was a fun race to watch. Ironically, we had a quad race going on. I'm sure you guys are into that, with 2 separate seeds, so it was really hard to keep track of both. But we had a 1 hour and 5 minute finish in the other seed.
Oh my goodness!
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Jet, or was it just execution?
It was Jet. Every single crystal dungeon had the next progression item.
Stoops, Jet.
So
wow. I mean, that's
so it was kind of yeah, it was exciting watching the different kinds of randomizers play out, and how, you know, even just like the difference of crystal and pendant dungeons can make such a big difference. Because, like, you know, adding Desert Palace adds 2 more potential items, because, you know, with Swamp Palace being a pendant, you know, you don't need the mirror, but all of a sudden you might need it to get in the desert. You know, stuff like that, you know, T-Rock having a bunch of required items. Also, that ice rod in that first chest. Ridiculous.
Yeah, as I was heading into T-Rock, I was thinking to myself, oh man, because when I got the, when I was in Pod, I thought I got the big key my first trip in. And so I was thinking, oh my goodness, I didn't open the big chest. I left because at the time I didn't have the big key, so I knew better. But that was in the back of my mind, like, oh my God, what if the bow or the ice rod is in the big chest in Pod? And actually, when I went back into Pod to complete it, I thought I already had the big key. I was just looking for a small key, so I got kind of fortunate that the big key was on the way.
Yeah. Well, fortunately for you, the only thing you missed was a 50 rupee count out of the big chest. That was interesting because both you guys were in Pod at the same time, except Prier had the bow, so they got to finish it in one go. One of my favorite parts was the Darkroom Mire.
Yeah,
giving you a little bit of trouble, giving you the business.
I actually,
which wasn't my favorite part. My favorite part was you going to Pod and then immediately finding the lamp, and you're like, oh, come on.
That's
just rude. That's just mean.
I actually practiced that room a bunch of times, and I started it off correctly, but I missed my mark when I was setting up for the block throw. And from that point forward, I was just trying to get the switch before I died. And when I got out, I was thinking to myself in the back of my mind, if I had 11 more rupees, I could have bought a potion, and I would not be in this position because I went to buy a potion before I went into Mire. And yeah, I was just trying to survive, and unfortunately, I didn't know if I had enough magic to keep the cape on, and I took it off too early, and that fireball hit me. So that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
But you got through it, and we got our second place finisher Prier with a time of 1:36.48. So little round 6 minute difference. I don't know if Prier wants to come in or not, but we'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, so moving on. That's got to be exciting. Going to top 8.
I can't believe this is real. My goal when I entered this tournament was to make it to the group stage. I worked my butt off, and I played in all the nightlies every night and all the weeklies every weekend. I did not expect to even get to the bracket stage at all. And then you consider that I went 2-2 in group play, and I had to have a very specific set of circumstances take place for me to even have a chance to be in this position right now. It's kind of awesome, man. I feel really, really thankful to be in this position, but at the same time, I'm pretty hyped.
And as you should be. Now, looking forward, you got a crazy matchup coming up in the next round. Going to be either taking on Mr. Barry Bonds or Keong92. Which would you prefer?
Neither. They're both so good.
Fair enough.
Dot forfeit. No, I'm just kidding. No, you know what? Barry Bonds has worked his tail off just like I have, and he's improved dramatically. And then Keong has always been strong. I raced against them many times, and they're both really strong opponents. I think in either case, I'm going to be the underdog in the next matchup, which I'm fine with. But it'll be an honor to race both of them. They're both really good, really nice guys, and it should be a good matchup.
It'll be fun to watch. And, you know, everybody always cheers for the underdog, oftentimes.
Under Lil Z.
Yeah, once again, congratulations on your win. Prier does not have a mic, so he will not be joining us for a interview. And we also got to immediately head on into ChristosOwen versus Z4T0X Game 2. But yeah, once again, you know, congrats on your win. We'll see you in top 8.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for the commentary, for everyone at Speed Gaming and Fiesel, and everyone for the restreaming. Good luck to the runners in the next race. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and congrats on you again.
Thank you.
Prier also gave his thanks to everyone, and congratulations to his opponent. And so for my part, thank you to everyone who helped track, organize everything. My wonderful co-commentator, restreamer. It was a very fun time with the 4 races going on.
We survived. That's what matters.
We survived. I think we did. I think that went really well. Actually, that was a lot of fun.
Could have gone worse. No, it was great.
Oh,
it was great. And it was a treat commentating with you as well.
Yeah, it was definitely good. So for my part, thank you everyone, and goodbye.
Alrighty. See you guys in the next one.